Hey, so I'm doing an immediate reaction. I just finished watching the movie Guns Akimbo. It's a Daniel Radcliffe movie from 2009. I know it's maybe a little bit older. However, not making it to the theater this week. And couple straight days of friends and family. I needed to just kind of chill out and watch some mindless gunplay, I guess. Um, this is definitely not a movie that is built on the gunplay, even though that's pretty much what is going on. Um, Not as violent as, say, the Netflix series Happy, um, or even like Hardcore Henry, which I think is the most close parallel that I can find with this. But movie brings in a lot of references, a lot of thoughts back to other things like even The Running Man way back when, which a movie that I remember fondly and I loved. And I was thinking, man, that movie was so much better than this movie. But I don't know that it was. I think that's just nostalgia. I'll be honest. Maybe I'll do a rewatch of that and see what I think. I'm a little scared though because that was a movie that growing up, like it was Running Man and Predator. Like man, those were when I was 12 years old. Those were the best. Um, yeah, so this movie it's great. It, the gunfights are fine. They're okay. They're entertaining enough. There's some kind of cool characters. They never go really far into anything. Daniel Radcliffe does a great job. I like that he does these movies like Swiss Army Man or Horns, and is willing to put his name on sort of odd projects that are clearly not designed. This isn't designed to be award winning. There are many moments where you see CGI of explosions and stuff, and it's bad. Like it's bad. Uh, but it's fine. This movie knows what it is, and it makes some commentary on social media and commentary on how we are enthralled by violence and what our society coming to. And it is, I always thought it was kind of weird that this is set in a modern day, in this era of 2019 to 2022. It could, well, it couldn't exist, right? Like the whole premise is ridiculous. However, it's not set way in the future like a Hunger Games or the aforementioned Running Man. Um, the actual choreography of the gunplay is cool. There's some violent moments. There's a great, not to give too much away, but Daniel Radcliffe is being chased by this killer Nexus. He's been enlisted against his will. Basically, he internet trolls the wrong people and gets himself with guns bolted to his hand, and then has to, fight his way to freedom. And again, it's one of those like a guy who doesn't know how to fight, has never fought, but ends up being a master marksman after one person gives him a little line of advice or something. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. But anyway, he's being chased by the psychopath Nix, who never quite sure if they're a hero, an anti-hero, someone we root for, someone we're rooting against, someone we sympathize for, someone that we want to get punished because they're clearly a murderer, but then they're also just killing bad guys, but maybe not all bad guys because clearly the people running this schism's the name of the group that runs this death match running man type thing, um, are also just putting regular people like Miles, the character that Daniel Radcliffe was playing, in there. So, the movie, you can't think too much about the plot in something like this. There are definitely some plot holes. There are some questions. Everybody does a pretty good job with it. It hits a lot of the beats that you want it to hit. It's not setting the world on fire. It's relatively predictable. There's some good moments. If you've ever seen the movie Headshot or Headshot 2, I think more specifically Headshot 2 with Iko Uwais, um, there's a character in there who uses a hammer, and there's sort of a parallel there. And that's the thing with this movie is there's a lot of things that you see elsewhere. The kind of the running, you have a certain amount of time to run from point A to point B. Um, like Run Lola Run, or there's the you know person, fish out of water, like a hardcore Henry who turns out like he's actually pretty good at this or whatever. Um, Overall, it's good. It doesn't have maybe the violence level that it should, but it has enough. It's maybe 10 minutes or so too long. Um, the ending was a strange ending. I thought that where it was going to end, I was like, oh, this is really cool. I like that they're doing this. And then there's the tag at the end, the last 30 seconds, minute and a half or whatever, where it kind of continues the story a little bit past where I think maybe it needed to go, but I kind of see where they were going with it. Overall, I think this is an enjoyable movie. If you like mindless shoot 'em ups and you want to just see some people get shot in the dick, and that's funny because there's a sort of a runner with that. It's cool. Definitely check it out. Let me know what you think, and hopefully next week I'm back in the theaters.